Several leading foundations are launching a competitive prize for community college excellence. It's going to shine a spotlight on community colleges delivering truly exceptional results, places that often don't get a lot of attention but make a huge difference in their students' lives. So we're investing in community colleges. We're making college more affordable, and we're bringing together businesses, nonprofits, and schools to train folks for the jobs of a new century. Now, all of this will help ensure that we continue to lead the global economy, but only if we maintain this commitment to education that's always been central to our success. That's why I so strongly disagree with the economic plan that was released last week by the Republican leaders in Congress, which would actually cut education by 20%. It would reduce or eliminate financial aid for 8 million college students, and it would leave community colleges without the resources they need to meet the goals we've talked about today. Instead, this money would help pay for a $700 billion tax cut that only 2% of the wealthiest Americans would ever see, an average of $100,000 for every millionaire and billionaire in the country. And that just doesn't make sense. Not for students, not for our economy. Think about it. China isn't slashing education by 20% right now. India is not slashing education by 20%. We are in a fight for the future, a fight that depends on education. And cutting aid for 8 million students or scaling back our commitment to community colleges, that's like unilaterally disarming our troops right as they head to the front lines. So we obviously have to get serious about our deficit. That's why after decades of profligacy, my administration reported pay-as-you-go rules, proposed a 3-year freeze on non-security spending. That's why we formed a bipartisan deficit reduction commission. But what we can't do is fund tax cuts for those who don't need it by slashing education for those who do. There's a better way for us to do this. And I want to work together with everybody concerned, Republican and Democrat, to figure that out. To use an expression familiar to those of you who are from the Midwest, you don't eat your seed corn. We can't accept less investment in our young people if our country is going to move forward. It would mean giving up on the promise of so many people who might not be able to pursue an education, like the millions of students at community colleges across this country. So I just want to use as an example Derek Blumke, who's here today. Where's Derek? Right here. Derek spent 6 years in the Air Force, 3 deployments in the Afghan theater, putting his life at risk to keep this country safe. And when he returned, he started classes at his local community college in northern Michigan. Now, apparently, what I'm told is he wasn't sure whether he was smart enough to do the work. And he also was concerned that he wouldn't get the support that he needed. And he was wrong on both fronts. His professors not only helped him transition from the military, even as he continued to serve in the Michigan Air National Guard, but also helped him to earn his associate's degree with honors. Then he transferred to the University of Michigan, go Blue, where he graduated just a few weeks ago. And while he was there, he co-founded Student Veterans of America to help returning veterans like himself. So, congratulations, Derek. Or we can look to the example set by Albert Ojeda, who just spoke to you. He didn't have any advantages in life. Grew up in a tough neighborhood in Phoenix. Lost his father to violence, lost his mother to prison, but that didn't stop him from pursuing an education. It didn't stop him from attending community college, become an honor student, become the first member of his family to graduate from college. There's so many folks out there like Derek and Albert. And I think about the many community college students who've written letters to me or emails through whitehouse.gov about how important community college has been to them. One person said he had been laid off and decided to return to school after 17 years. And attending community college literally helped save my life. That's what he said. I can not only see an associate's degree next year, but a new future filled with possibilities for the first time. a new future filled with possibilities. That's why we're here today. That's the promise of an education, not just for any one student, but for our entire country. And that's why it's so important that we work together on behalf of community colleges and an education system that harnesses the talents and hard work of every single American. So thank you for the incredible work that each and every one of you do out there in schools, your business folks who are supporting these community colleges, the students who are doing so much to contribute to our country. Let's get busy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your steadfast commitment to community colleges and to the millions of students they educate every day. I want to acknowledge and thank all of those individuals and schools who have contacted us and are watching this broadcast live on whitehouse.gov. We appreciate your participation and will continue to incorporate your comments and feedback into our ongoing work. I also want to take a moment to thank the members of the media for joining us here today. You have the power to engage Americans in these critical discussions. So thank you for making education a focus of your reporting. We have so many outstanding participants here today, like Albert, who honored me with such a wonderful introduction. He's a great example of a student who has seized the opportunity offered by a community college education. I would now like to introduce an extraordinary woman who, along with her husband, is committed to ensuring that each individual has the opportunity to live up to his or her potential. The Gates Foundation recognizes that education is the great equalizer, and they are putting their substantial resources and ingenuity behind efforts to prepare students all along the education spectrum. I'd like to introduce a woman who I've really enjoyed getting to know, Melinda Gates. Melinda?
Well, thanks, Dr. Biden, because you not only stand up in front of your class in Northern Virginia Community College, but you stand up for students here at an event like this. And I think that is really incredible. You know, for me, it's a great honor to be here today. Bill and I have been at work in the K-12 part of the education system now for over 10 years. And I have to say, as we would travel out and try and learn about the issues with the students in K-12, we kept hearing about this difficult transition onto college, community college. And we started visiting community colleges, and Bill and I said to ourselves, these are these hidden gems of our society that make society tick. And yet every time there's a college conversation in the United States, we seem to be talking about the elite four-year institutions. So I am thrilled today to be here at this event to have this focus on community colleges. I think President Obama and Dr. Biden understand that community colleges really create opportunity, particularly for low-income and minority youth in our country. They understand that our society has changed. The so-called traditional students really are not the basis of society now. It's the non-traditional students, the students who are more like 26 years old and holding down 2 jobs and have a child at home. Those are making up the majority of our educational system today, and so I'm thrilled that that's what we're here to focus on. I also want to congratulate the community college presidents, because you all have been at this work for a very long time, and you've spent your careers fighting for students. And the very